Some of Australia's top rugby league talent is drawn from country clubs, but according to the Nationals leader, those grassroots organisations are being left behind by city leaders. Let's go live now to the Nationals leader, David Littleproud. What's going on here? We know some of our best league players have come from the bush. Certainly the Maroons have brought a lot of tears to us over the years in State of Origin. What's happening with the funding?
Well, look, in a bizarre decision, the ARLC is reneging on supporting one of our in-trust Super Cups, which is the feeder clubs into the NRL, the Western Clydesdale, based in Toowoomba, but for all Western Queensland. They're not prepared to fund that club like they are the Balance. Now, the Bulldogs have made a commitment. The Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs saw an investment. This isn't just any club. This is actually semi-professional players that are looking to take the next step, both men and women. And for some reason, Peter V'landys and Abdo have decided that they don't believe that there's any need for us to have a club in Western Queensland. When you look from Arthur Beetson through to Darren Lockyer through to Kurt Capewell, a Charleville boy that's still playing NRL today, that they've made some decision that they can't spend a few $100,000 each year. It's less than $1 million each year when they're pumping $17 million a year into each NRL club. But are also prepared to spend millions upon millions of dollars on a couple of days over in Las Vegas, but are forgetting the grassroots. I mean, Peter V'landys been swanning around the globe with his bright blue jacket, seeing presidents and making a name for himself, but he's forgetting the grassroots of rugby league. And that's what rugby league's been built on. And if you start stripping away that grassroots, then what happens is the grassroots stop supporting you. And when you've got competition from AFL and soccer, you're going to see that rugby league will struggle to get that support if we don't make that investment in the next pathway for our juniors, both men and women. And particularly when you've got such a rich nursery out of Western Queensland. We're pretty passionate about this. I'm pretty upset about this. I'm writing to the Commission to get them to actually release this funding so that the Western Clydesdales can have a future and we have that pathway for our young people into the NRL and NRLW.
The other big news of the day, I'm sure you're well across it, that more than 10 million customers of Optus stranded by this outage. We're yet to hear a news conference or see a news conference from the leadership of that telecommunications company. What have you made of watching this unfold today?
Yeah, look, it's been strange, the crisis management by Optus and the optics of this just has gotten away from them. And I think there's plenty of explanations that many of the 10 million customers want. There needs to be, and there should have been, redundancies within the system that would have picked this up and made sure that they weren't down for hours upon hours. And I understand just from the last look that they're slowly getting back online in some parts of the country. But I don't think that they've handled this in the way that you should a crisis, particularly something as important as telecommunications, something that not just people rely on in their day-to-day lives, but businesses are relying on. And I think that the lack of information and the lack of presence really has been bewildering. And I wouldn't like to own too many shares in Optus today. I understand there's fairly big lineups at their competitors' stores at the moment. People are voting with their feet, and I think there should be some very big lessons. And I acknowledge the government has been calling for answers, and it's important that Optus not just gives it to the Australian government, they give it to the Australian people. Their brand is shot at the moment, and it's basically been through poor management.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with any of that. David Littleproud, appreciate it. Nationals leader David Littleproud, talk to you soon.